Now, let me introduce Mr. Parveen Chopra for the president of IAPC. Parveen Chopra is the journalist of 25 years standing, who brings along a rich experience in media to his new responsibility as president of the Indo-American Press Club. He is the managing editor of the South Asian Times, a leading newspaper in the Indian community. Back home, he worked in a senior capacity for India Today magazine and as a spirituality and wellness editor of DNA, Daily News and Analysis in Bombay. He considers founding Life Positive, India's first spiritual magazine in 1996, as a high point in his career. He has also been a meditation teacher and is an advocate for personal growth therapies and alternate systems of healing like Ayurveda. Now, let me introduce Mr. Parveen Chopra for the presidential address.
Hello everybody. Mr. Mohapatra, our very popular CG, the New York Conf, and Mr. Thomas Abraham, all the guests from India, dignitaries from India, and members, board members, executive committee, and all the participants in this conference. Actually, this president thing is new for me. I have been a journalist, and not so much in India, but here working in America, in New York, covering the Indian community. So you cover the OPO and NFIA and FIA and AIA, all these organizations, and they have a president and president changes every year. So I used to wonder why people spend so much of their time and energy, but I have been a president now for 1 year. I know it's a sense of service. There is no benefit. I doubt if the president benefit, maybe they get clout or maybe name in the society. But like Mr. Thomas Abraham, he started so many organizations, COPIO, NFIA, FIA, and so on. Great energy, great work. So somebody has to do it. Somebody has to do it because the community has been growing and community needs the help of different kinds of services, different kinds of work to take the community forward. So this is my first experience of working as president of a community organization, and this convention, actually the term is for 1 year. And another interesting thing, most of you will probably already know, the Indo-American Press Club was started by a group of people led by Ginsman Zakaria, and they were all Malayalis. And I think, maybe no, I'm wrong. Not all Christians, they were all Malayalis, and mostly Christians, except Vinny. But of course, they had the vision that they want to expand it to other communities. So they invited me, and hopefully we are bringing more people from other communities, North Indian communities. Hopefully our next president, I'm not announcing it yet, our next president hopefully will also be from North India. So that was about the president thing. Somebody mentioned that the media has been changing. Of course, media, it started with newspapers. When I was studying journalism, they go back to about, I think, 400 years, or maybe starting from Gutenberg. Gutenberg was the person who invented the printing press. So the first, I think, about 400 or 500 years ago. So the printing press came into being. And first they were, I think, printing only Bibles. Bible was the first book to get printed. And then gradually newspapers started. And most of us have grown with, at least the older generation people have grown with newspapers. And then TV came along about 50, 60 years ago. In India it came very late. And the internet in the last 10, 15 years. So how the internet has changed the media, of course, we all know. Now you can post your thoughts, your comments on Facebook, on Twitter and so on. The concept of citizen journalist is also new, that ordinary people like you and me can, because we have some access to expressing ourselves, we can find out if there's any wrongdoing or whatever. So the concept of citizen journalism. But why the mainstream media, the big newspapers, websites, magazines are still required? Why do we still need them? I'll give the reference of the current presidential campaign. Incidentally, we are having a presidential debate at this conference itself tomorrow. Our speaker for the Republican Party for Mr. Trump is Mr. A.D. Amar, Professor A.D. Amar. He started this organization called Indian Americans for Trump. And Mr. Peter Jacob, he will speak on behalf of for the Democratic Party and in support of Hillary Clinton. Peter Jacob, is a candidate for U.S. Congress, for the U.S. House from New Jersey, from New Jersey's 7th district. I'm told that he doesn't stand a very big chance because that particular constituency is, that district is Republican dominated. But still, I think he's of Malayali origin, but I think he was born in, he's lived in America most of his life. He will be a debater also tomorrow. Yeah, so what I want to say is this presidential election, who exposed the big scandals about Mr. Donald Trump. The tax expose was done by New York Times, maybe the biggest, the most famous newspaper of the world. And yesterday, another scandal came up. You will read about it, come to know about it. That story was broken by Washington Times. Now, New York Times, Washington Post are one of the most respected print newspapers. So you do need, public needs information about the candidates for president. So it is the mainstream media that has to do its duty of bringing the information in front of the public. So no matter Twitter, Facebook, or the citizen journalists, the mainstream media will always be required, and it has to do its job. So our job in Indo-American Press Club is manifold actually. We are a platform to bring journalists together. They may be print, TV, or web journalists, to bring them together, to help them improve their skills, also to maybe lobby for better benefits for themselves in the organization and in society. And then the other thing we are trying to do is establish contacts with similar press clubs in India. There are some people from Trivandrum and so on. So that is what we are trying to do. And let me take this opportunity to thank James Zakaria and the board of directors that they selected me to be the president for this year. Thank you very much.